Good morning, everyone. Robin Shea here with day 8 of Before the Fork, the 28-day experience. And this is the morning message. So sorry, popping on a little bit late today. Of course, we had some shenanigans last night. It was a celebration of our 20%, at least for me, and we made the most of it. So my girlfriend Kelly, who's in town, we decided to sleep in a little bit and have a nice breakfast. So anyway, video is getting started a little bit later today than usual. Today's message is all about playing different roles in your life and what that looks like and what God has to do with the various roles that you play in your life. So we oftentimes, most often than not, we all have wonderful parents that loved us deeply, that did their very, very best to mold and shape us into well-rounded individuals, capable. Good morning, Jerry Beth. You go by Beth, don't you? You don't go by Jerry Beth. You go by Beth. Good to see you, Beth. Hi, Dina. So glad y'all are here. So as I was saying, you know, our parents did their very, very best to mold and to shape us into the humans that they felt, or the adults that they felt would be of best service to the world and to ourselves. And oh, good. Okay, so I was right. You go by Jerry now. Good, good, good. Okay. And since we don't have a say in how they're going to mold and to shape us. So perhaps as fully actualized adults, we look at areas of our life and we think, you know, they did the best they could in that area, but I have this internal urge to improve that area of my life. And as such, we need to be open to finding other mentors for that part of our life, other parents for that part of our life. Now, I kind of take this, the different roles that you're going to play that are necessary for you to play in your life in order for you to continue to grow and evolve. And I kind of relate it to the businesses that my husband and I own. We owned a Polaris Victory dealership. Hi, Michael Ann, for many, many years. And Greg is, he's a magician when it comes to different entrepreneurial businesses, because he has that inner drive and he can play every role in the business. So there were times that Greg would walk into the dealership and he would see things out of place immediately because he just had this trained eye. So if anything was out of place, he would know and he would get on it. So he would act as the janitor in the bathrooms. He would act as, you know, sweeping the floors, detailing the vehicles, anything that it took, he would work inside the business. And then there were other times that he would walk away from the business. He would go over the business and look at the mechanics and how everything was working and everyone's role, was it being fulfilled? Where were the weaknesses? So he was working on the business. He was looking over it and taking a bird's eye view, and he was working on it, not in it. And so I love that example because it helps me to realize that, you know, God has a role in our life, and that is up here with the desired self story. God is resting at the top of that happiness ladder. He's looking down over your life and he's calling you up to him. He's calling you up to that desired self story. I had a friend once that I was walking through the program, and I was explaining the happiness ladder to her and how God will never come down and meet you in the red or yellow zone. And she had a real problem with that. Through her spiritual belief, she had a real problem with that idea that God wouldn't come down and meet you there. And I said, okay, let's look at this a different way. If you were a toddler and you were having a fit and you were, your mother couldn't console you, and you were throwing yourself on the ground and having a fit, would you expect your mother to come down and join you in your fit? No. You would expect your mother to start providing you with tools to pull yourself up and to cope with situations differently. And that's exactly what I mean when I say God won't join you in your anger. He won't join you in your resistance or your resentment or your hate-filled heart or your revenge. But he acknowledges that it's okay to be there, but allow him to give you the tools to pull you up the emotional scale and elevate your vibration out of those low, non-serving, discordant vibrations down there in the bottom of the happiness ladder. So God works on your life as well as in your life through tools. So then I look at the other areas, and of course this is straight out of the book, and I look at other areas here, and you have to think about the father's role in the home. The father's role as the protector. You have to be your own protector. So God's working over your life. He's helping you create that vivid image of yourself and your desired self. The father of your life, which has to be inside of you, is going to protect you. This is when you shore up your home environment. This is when you have a plan when you leave the house. These are equipping you with everything that you need to find safety as you're gaining control over your food world. So be the father of your life. Set healthy boundaries all around yourself. Know your saboteurs. Journal. Keep that list of, ooh, wow, I was very vulnerable in this situation, or I really dropped the ball here. Those are where your tips and tools come in. That's the father saying, you know what? I'm going to shore your shores up. So we're going to put this in place and this in place and this in place. I know that I am incredibly blessed to be married to a very, very much a man's man, my husband, and I'm surrounded by 4 sons, and they're incredible protectors. So that area of my life, I see that masculine energy through my husbands, through my sons. It's a very natural part of them to protect this castle, this home, their people. That's just a very masculine mindset. So tap into that masculinity in yourself and shore your shores up at home, in your car, in your environment. Now, the mother's role, and of course we also, and for us women, that's going to come a little bit more naturally. And the mother's role in the life is to care for the vision. So it's like, I've never seen mothers get more protective than when their children are bullied at school. You talk about coming on. If you're a mom and your child has experienced any type of denigration or children, picking them out, nothing turns a mom on harder, faster, and stronger. You think of a daddy's tough. Mess with a mama and her cubs. She will come at you with all kinds of force. And I completely recognize that. I've done it myself. But you have to have that mothering instinct over yourself. So when people start to sabotage your dreams, when people start to mess with that vision that you've painted, that God has entrusted to you to care for, He breathed life into that vivid picture of your desired self. Be that mama. Protect that vision and say nothing is going to come between me and what God has ordained me to achieve in my life. So be the mama of yourself. Love and care and rock yourself. Acknowledge when you're getting weak. Kelly and I got up this morning and we had a plan to go to yoga, and we both gave ourselves a pass. And, we said, let's just sit and have our coffee and relax and enjoy each other and take some time off without the guilt. We'll do a little walk. We'll take a walk later on today, and that'll be fantastic. And we were caring and nurturing and loving ourselves. So be the mama of your life. And finally, allow yourself to be an infant. And this is so critical, to allow yourself to be in an infantile state in this process. Don't expect so much of yourself that you're setting yourself up for failure because you simply don't have the tools or the skills to master certain situations. So, I love picturing a baby learning to eat. First, they do it with their fingers. And then you introduce them to utensils, and they make a huge mess all over themselves. And then finally they start getting a couple pieces in their mouth, and it's a process. So every time, just imagine if you were watching a baby learning to walk or learning to feed themselves, and every time they didn't do it properly, you just looked at them like, what's the matter with you? What's going on? Get this right. And so allow yourself to be the infant. We encourage our infants when they fall short. So encourage yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Realize that this is a process, and infancy is part of the process. Okay, so that was my message to y'all this morning. Be the creator, be the God of your life. Allow God to breathe that vision into you. Be the father, protect yourself, protect your environment. Be the mother, guard your vision as a mother is protective over their child, and allow yourself to be the child. So you're playing all 4 roles in your life, and God empowers you with all 4 of those, everything that you need to play those roles. We have the masculine energy, we have the feminine energy, and we have the wisdom to know that it takes all of those roles in your life in order for this to be successful. So you guys have a wonderful day today. Feel free. I love that y'all are posting on the page, so feel free to continue posting. Ask questions. You'll start to notice that we come together as a group and we'll start answering each other's questions. And I love, love, love to see that happen. So keep up the good work. Okay, y'all, have a super blessed day. I'll be back with you later on tonight. Bye now.